Did you know you only need 7 games to survive on your Steam Deck? It's so hot right now, oh my God. Gotta lay down a few ground rules though. First off, it needs to be good on and offline. And they all need to fit on the base model Steam Deck, so we're not gonna play any AAA games just because. The base model Steam Deck is 64 gigabytes, about 10 of them are used for SteamOS, so I'm gonna try to keep these under 50 gigs. You gotta be able to buy these games on Steam. I ain't allowing any emulators here. And also, no recurring franchises or IPs. I'm going for just straight replay value. And let me know down in the comment section below, what are some of your favorite games to play on the Steam Deck? And I'm starting off right now with the most popular genre up and coming. Ever since the release of Elden Ring, the Souls genre has completely blown up in popularity. I'm personally not too into them, but I definitely see the appeal. Being this savior figure in a dystopian apocalypse, like you're a child up against Ava Chris Tyson, leaving that battle nearly unscathed is borderline impossible. But when you finally come out on top, that is the best feeling. And speaking of Ava Chris Tyson, if you want to join a Discord server without any lolly content or other weird shit, join mine. It's a safe place, no activities going on around here. Just edgy memes, music and game recommendations, and good vibes. It's free down in the description box below and in the pinned comment. The ripple effect the Souls games have had on the industry isn't something that can't and shouldn't be ignored. I've got 2 in mind right now. The Last Hero of Nostalgaia and Another Crab's Treasure. The Last Hero of Nostalgaia is a comedic look at the Souls games, but it's still incredibly respectful to the genre. The game starts out with graphics that look pretty old and dated, but with style. But then when you light the bonfires, you see this retro world become more modern, and it's actually really impressive to see on deck. But to be honest, I like the older graphics a lot more. It looks way cooler. The combat is about what you'd expect from a Souls game, and it's so rewarding. So I haven't played Last Hero for like a year, and even so, I only spent 20 minutes playing it, so I am completely lost. After about an hour of backtracking, I beat my real first boss, and it felt so good. The rhythm to the fights, dying repeatedly, only to finally come out on top. This is exactly how I felt after beating my first major monster in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on 3DS. Another Crab's Treasure, on the other hand, is probably the most baby shit looking Souls-like out there. It looks like Battle for Bikini Bottom rehydrated, all right? Like, come on. I swear, this is the Weenie Hut Jr. to the Dark Souls Salty Spittoon. You play Krill, a hermit crab who gets his shell repossessed by a loan shark, and the first thing you notice here is the sense of humor. This game is really clever with all the puns, marine biology, and the aquatic biomes. Hell, instead of bonfires, you got currents. It felt pretty easy at first, and then it started incorporating this platforming, and this is so fun. But then I kept dying. And it's not even that big of a deal because 1, I know the deaths are my fault, and B, the world is just beautiful to look at. I get it's supposed to show the theme of pollution, taking care of our oceans and all that, and I respect that, but it just adds this extra layer to the game, having this desolate world being our world. Cigarette butts, soda cans, glass and plastic bottles litter the ocean floor, and they also make sculptures and structures out of the litter too. The Last Hero of Nostalgaia goes for more of like the typical Souls-like, with the dungeons, but with a retro twist. But one thing I don't like is when the visuals go to that more modern aesthetic, the enemies are really hard to see. I can't tell though if this is a good or a bad thing. Yeah, it keeps you on your toes around any or every corner is danger, but it just doesn't feel fair not being able to see your enemies. It looks cool though, albeit just another typical Souls-like environment. Nothing really pops in your face the way it should, especially compared to Another Crab's Treasure. They both play relatively the same to one another, but something about the crab game just has way more charm to it. The Last Hero of Nostalgaia is really weird because it starts out with just ambient sounds of the world, your armor clanking, enemies, and it completely rips the rug of that vibe under your feet with this whimsical narration.
Perhaps some fragment of it was heroic. A tiny, imperceptible, forgotten fragment. So much was forgotten.
I think Another Crab's Treasure is a lot more consistent with the atmosphere and vibe, and it's just way more creative, and it runs way better on the deck too. So we're giving this to Another Crab's Treasure at a whopping 8 gigabytes. But now we gotta do the most popular genre of video games, and that's gonna be the Being completely honest, this one was so hard to do. Games like Battlefield, Call of Duty, Battlefront EA, all those games are way too big in file size to be on the deck, and they also have this anti-cheat software that's not compatible with Steam OS, which also makes the Garden Warfare games not work on the Steam Deck, and that would have been so good. It's literally perfect for the... Plus, playing classic Call of Duty online, you'll likely get a hacker who could actually kill your PC, so that. Halo MCC and Titanfall 2 are a complete blast to play, but still, way too big of file sizes here. I've also tried a few Call of Duty clones like Warface or Iron Sights on deck, and they just don't work well at all. BattleBit Remastered also doesn't have any controller support from my experience. Oh, that one would have been perfect, holy shit. This is so disappointing, especially for Warface. That could run on the Switch. Why isn't it running on Steam Deck? We gotta go indie here, and I have a ton of options to choose from. Some that I had in my Steam library were Deep Rock Galactic, Hypercharge Unboxed, and Pixel Gun 3D. It was free, okay, please leave me alone. Deep Rock is pretty fun. It takes a little while though to get into, which doesn't really fit the purpose of a handheld device all too well. This is best played with a few friends in a Left 4 Dead style setting. But if you've already sunk in time in Deep Rock Galactic, it is a good choice. But when I played Pixel Gun 3D, it just felt shallow. There's nothing too special about it. I mean, it was just an iPhone game from like 2013, but still. Pixel Gun 3D capitalized on the style of Minecraft and the rising popularity of FPSs like Call of Duty, but doesn't do too much to make its own identity. It starts off with you fighting a bunch of bots because these are definitely not real players. And I accidentally kept picking the same map too, so I was getting really bored with that, but that's on me. But it just feels kind of apathetic. But that's where Hypercharge Unboxed comes in. This is kind of an arena style shooter. You're a toy battling other toys. And the maps are insane. You got playgrounds, some rooms, stores, closets. It's so good. And all the game modes are really fun, whether you're playing online or offline. The character customization, insane map varieties, and everything makes Hypercharge Unboxed feel like a complete package. So now we get to reserve 7 gigabytes for Hypercharge Unboxed. Look, I know my handwriting sucks. I don't need you to tell me. I'm not talking about Hypercharge too much right now just because I finished glazing it about a month ago. So if you want to see that video, link is in the description box below. Taking it now to the most oversaturated genre with...
You want to go bowling?
So picking a free roam game is probably the hardest game to pick for a Steam Deck. Some of them aren't really like that good, and the ones that are good are... I really wanted to do like a modern Lego game, but you'd probably want something that's a little more violent. So what's the next best thing to Grand Theft Auto? Saints Row. I prefer Saints Row over GTA any day of the week. Yeah, they're not the greatest, but they're damn fun with the irreverent humor and just sheer chaos. No, not that one. All of the Saints Row games are on Steam. Besides the first one for some reason, I don't know. And I gotta go with Saints Row 4, man. This is probably my favorite one. So you don't need to play any other Saints Row game to enjoy 4. You get all that Grand Theft Auto, Saints Row goodness you kind of come to expect. But then you get these extraordinary abilities to fight off an alien invasion, like, come on, man. That's cool. Say what you will, that's fucking cool. This kept me damn busy during lockdown back in 2020, maybe my favorite game to play around that time. While everyone was having fun with Animal Crossing New Horizons, killing demons in Doom Eternal, I was saving the planet and Saints Row 4 re-elected. Being able to drive over pedestrians, kill aliens, run up walls at super speed, and glide through the air is just magnificent. This is peak gaming. Re-elected story isn't anything groundbreaking by any stretch of the imagination, but hey, it's gonna keep you entertained. And I'll be completely honest, I think I 100%ed this game in 2 weeks during the big sicky jail time. I just really liked it that much. I was having a ton of fun. So you may be noticing I'm not playing this game on the Steam Deck. I'm playing this game on my Switch because I do not have it on my Steam Deck. I'm not gonna buy this game again. I'm just gonna show you this Switch footage. It's got a playable rating on Steam Deck. I doubt there's gonna be much of a difference on how it plays. And according to this video, it looks like it runs pretty well. And he's playing on the Epic Game Store on his Steam Deck. And yes, I'm very aware that I said that you had to be able to buy these games on Steam, but you still can. It's called a loophole. And we're gonna be downloading Saints Row 4 Reelected on our Steam Deck for only 10 gigabytes. Portal 2. You can get this game for like $1 on a Steam sale, and it's one of the best puzzle games of all time. Dude, if you can't have fun with Portal 2, that's on you. You're probably a little slow too. Look, Portal 2, it's only 8 gigabytes. It runs perfectly on deck. There's nothing more to say. Being completely honest, I'm not that into fighting games, but I think TMNT Shredder's Revenge or Lego Brawls are pretty solid choices. Lego Brawls is a smash fighter that's not all too bad. TMNT Shredder's Revenge, though, is a classic style beat 'em up like Turtles in Time, and this is kick ass. It's got fluid gameplay, stylized graphics, and it's only a fucking gigabyte? Ninja Turtle wins just for that alone. So I love platformers, but I usually play them on my Switch. I barely have any on my Steam account. I was considering Super Meat Boy, Fez. Oh, what about Sackboy: A Big Adventure? Fuck. Ah, perfect, Cuphead. This is the Dark Souls of platformers. Not autistic enough. We're going Sonic, baby, and with the least popular one, Lost World. I'm of the mindset that Sonic Adventure 2 hasn't aged all that well. I last played it like 12 years ago on the Xbox Live Arcade, and it just did not hit the same. And yes, that dislike button does work. Let me know how bad you fucking hate me right now. It's iconic, no doubt. But it doesn't compare to the mission variety that you get with Lost World. I would have picked Sonic Generations for this, but it's gonna get delisted for Sonic and Shadow Generations. Yeah, you could still technically get it through like a bundle, but... Sonic Adventure 2 also has this really strange pop-up menu. You have to choose whether to do mouse and keyboard or gamepad before playing, and I just thought it didn't work. Lost World is just ready straight out the gate. This game is always seen by the public as Sonic Galaxy, and I kinda get it, but that's also such an awful oversimplification. It's just a spin on the classic Sonic games, and it's great. You get a fun mix of the 2D and 3D Sonic here, sometimes in the same level. Lost World was originally a Wii U exclusive, so playing on the Steam Deck, a device that looks and feels just like a Wii U gamepad, you can't not beat that. It's too fitting. And these missions are so creative. Even though it's Sonic, no one level feels like another. Everything is spiraling around, and the change of 2D to 3D, like I mentioned earlier, changes the pace and makes everything feel fresh. But the controls don't feel all great, and Sonic doesn't feel as fast as he should. When he is running really fast, though, he's hard to keep track of. Sonic Lost World is only 8 gigabytes. There's not much to complain about here. But you know, it's been like 10 years since I've played Sonic Adventure 2, so let's just try this out, and it's beautiful. It's so good. Oh my god. All right, so Sonic Lost World. The first level of escaping a helicopter, going through the streets of San Francisco, then being chased down by a truck with gun on it, and then having a boss fight with Shadow the Hedgehog, it's too good. And that's not even the first 10 minutes of the game, and it only takes up 3 gigabytes. Come on. Oh shit, I haven't done a racing game yet, have I? To be honest, I do not like racing games, so this is just like way out of my wheelhouse. Hell, the only vehicle-based game I like besides Mario Kart is Pilot Wings Resort. And yes, I'm being completely serious. But after what felt like an eternity of finding a good racing game, which was maybe like a day, I thought all hope was lost. Then I realized that a little indie game is coming out that I got the chance to play back at Level Up Expo 2023, Victory Heat Rally. This game is f***ing fun. I also played the demo on Steam, I think this year, I can't remember, and it's still a blast. Okay, I know you can't buy it yet, but it's gonna be releasing in like October, all right? But I bet you're wondering right now, how do I know this is gonna be compatible on deck? Because when I met the developers at Level Up, I think I asked them if it's gonna be deck compatible, and they said yeah, but I honestly don't remember if I asked that. I think I asked for Switch, yeah, but it's gonna be the same. And because when I looked up Victory Heat Rally Steam Deck, the first thing that pops up is a giveaway where you win a Steam Deck. My God, that is generous. Victory Heat Rally feels like a true spiritual successor to F-Zero. You've got super stylized retro graphics, fast as cars. How could I not recommend this? The Steam Deck is an amazing platform, and yes, while it can download every game off of Steam, it's not gonna play every game off of Steam. Whether it's an anti-cheat software, games requiring more power, or that these modern AAA games are taking up way too much space. You don't need to get a micro SD card if you only have a base Steam Deck, and I'm just trying to prove that here. I understand that these games aren't the most in-depth, don't have super compelling stories, maybe are even kind of mid to you. But think, if you're without internet and can't download anything, can't afford a bigger micro SD card, or can't afford a bigger size Steam Deck, this is all you get, because these games are really gonna come in clutch. They're all super easy to understand, have insane replay value, and most importantly, just really easy to boot up and play. Click right here if you wanna see my original thoughts on the Steam Deck.